See, she goes away on vacation for a couple of weeks, look what happens.
God,
She
everything.
got rusty.
Oh, we changed all the passwords while you were gone, just.
It was the username, not the password.
Okay, it is 7:04. We are opening tonight's meeting. I call it to order. Let's stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our sound system and recording is all up to snuff? Get everyone here in the back there? Okay. Okay, first motion is approval of the agenda. Do I have a second?
A second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Public comments? Yes, Mr. Earl?
Early real piece, happy road. I'd like to address the format at the public hearings. That is what the planning board or any other board could say to the protesters and how they address. And that possibly on the sign-in sheet, there's a heading there, by signing this, you agree to address the application of the applicant and to address the planning board. This is on Zoom all over. Who heard all that? Was it nice?
It was nice. I'm sorry, I should comment, but thank you for bringing that up. We will address that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gary?
Gary 21 Summer Road. I just had a couple of comments or questions about the contract you're gonna let for the 251. I'm assuming that you received multiple bids or quotes, or at least tried to get. But there's no mention of that. I don't see in the contract that there's any provision for the $3,000 contingency that you're going to approve. I don't see that in the contract. I'm assuming that in the RFP, it said that it was a prevailing wage job. I don't know if that carries over to the contract. What contract, I don't see that in. In the long range, just wondering how long the town will be responsible for maintaining that area, which is within state. I know that there was a question about before, when the original thing was done, the state and the town were working together to do it. State didn't want to do anything, but they would. So I'm just wondering how long is it in perpetuity that we're gonna be responsible for that? There's no mention.
Thank you for those points. Appreciate it. Hey, communications. You ready, Michelle?
Yeah, I don't have much. There was, all the taxes are done for town and county. We're already preparing for the school. So I've got a lot of the paperwork filled out for that. I have a few more things to finalize and then we should be getting rolling on that soon. That's all I got for now. That's it, a short month.
Okay, thank you. Peter,
All right.
highway?
We've been doing quite a bit of county work. For example, Belt Hill Road, the culvert, that job will be completed by Friday. I talked to Keeler this morning. They are ahead of schedule, so Belt Hill Road, by 64 will be, the culvert will be all done. And then later into August, we'll go through from the village line out to Victor and put the final coat of stone and oil on.
And that'll complete that job. We've been doing some other work for the county in Pittsford, Willard Road, Park Road, Barker Road, Stone Road. Did some on Maplewood Avenue. We spoiled and stoned that. We're gonna do the rest of the town subdivisions that we have scheduled for this year. The cul-de-sacs and the subdivisions, in addition to Dalton Road and Mill Street and the hamlet. We've been doing some extra work with brush pickup due to the storms, which, we're fitting that in as we can schedule it around our road construction work and stuff like that. So we should hit some more of it this week. Let's see. Going back to Keeler Construction, they're gonna be all done on Friday, minus a little bit of cleanup and stuff like that. Then they'll be moving right over to Taylor Road. The town speed limit signs are on Sibley Road right now. They're gonna go to Plains Road the end of next week. We're gonna complete the Plains Road project from the kind of like the linear trail up to 251. We're gonna mill that this Friday, pave next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow. We're continuing work on the soccer fields. We've been adding fill in there that the site work and the dirt work will start for that first week in August. So we have that all scheduled. Great. Buildings and grounds has been, as everybody has noticed, the splash park has been up and running and stuff like that. People are behaving there pretty well so far this year. Kevin is also addressing some estimates for garage door openers and garage door replacement repairs and stuff like that. So that'll be, I didn't even have a chance to look at the agenda. I'm not sure if he had anything in there for this.
He does, and I'm meeting with him tomorrow morning.
Okay. Carter, Caleb and I went over to a demonstration for salt brine system for, looking ahead, it's gonna be 90 something degrees tomorrow. So we're looking at remote snow and ice control today. So a couple of weeks ago, we went over to the town of Ogden and saw a demonstration over there. So the concept behind salt brine is it's a salt water mix of 23%. According to numbers, it should save us 30% in salt usage and salt purchasing and stuff like that. So the unit that we looked at and are kind of interested in, we're still kind of negotiating some specs on it, but it'll be in the $100,000 ballpark for the unit, maybe 108 with everything. It'll be a portable mobile unit. It'll be mounted on a trailer. So it's kind of a cool system. And what this will do is it'll give us an advantage to kind of pre-salt or pre-treat roads prior to a storm, within 24 to 48 hours. And then it'll also be a wet mix to the salt. So it should make it more effective. So, and that's very environmentally safe and very environmentally clean. It's not super popular around here right now. There are a few towns that are looking into it. For example, at Ogden, town of Parma, are looking at it. Partially through the conversation, we have American rock salt that's so close and has been readily available until the last couple of years. We've had trouble with purchasing and getting, delivered. We specifically have not had any trouble, but industry wide, there's been some challenges. So, I think if we can reduce our usage and consumption, it's a good thing. It's very popular. New York State Thruway uses it all the time, the salt brine. If you watch, they have tank trucks with like a 3,000 or 4,000 gallon tank, and there's a kind of like a spray bar, I guess you would call it, it's mounted on the back of the truck, and you'll see where there'll be like 10 drip lines going down the lane, and that's all salt brine. So Thruway Authority's been using it for a long time. It's very popular. Michigan, Wisconsin areas that are, have a comparable climate as to what we have. So it's well worth looking into. We're still in the study phases and, speccing the equipment out and stuff like that. Eric Walker from the village is very interested in jumping on board with us.
So we'll kind of work out some percentages as we're moving ahead as far as how much, they're willing to commit to it and how much we're gonna pick it up, so. They use probably 10 to 15% the amount of salt that we use, but it's still an advantage for them also, for storage and everything else, so.
You talking about sharing the equipment?
Probably would go in that direction, but it's a portable unit, so you can process the salt in the water and put it into a storage tank, so I'm sure it'll probably be stored at Summel Road, but it's something that, for the cost, if we can get them to kick in whatever percentage we work out, then I think it's a really, really doable thing, so.
Would this replace a different piece of equipment or it would just be a new piece of equipment in
No,
our?
it'd be it's
Okay,
a towable, the unit is towable, so it's not mounted on a trailer. And it's got its own generator
Okay.
system and stuff like that. So it's not replacing anything, it'll be an additional piece of it. But I think you were gonna ask that question, how much stuff were we gonna buy this month? So, but it'll be an additional piece of equipment, so, but I think it's, something that, we're looking into as far as cost savings and working smarter, not harder. So,
Any projection for, how long for payback or?
if you're gonna save 30% on what our salt budget is, it'll pay for itself in less than a year. I would say a year probably,
Really?
so, yeah. You look at it, I'm still trying to get some commitments out of the state DOT and also out of Monroe County as to how this will affect our reimbursement rates, for that type of stuff. So I haven't really gotten anything concrete back from that, but because it's kind of a new thing, I think, for the state DOT, there's a throughway authority for totally separate from everything else.
what did we spend on salt last year, roughly?
It was total bill was, I think, close to 300,000. And, a certain percentage of that is certainly reimbursable through the state and county, but, if we can, it's kind of like a lot of other things, if we can keep working for the county, still generates revenue for us. Sometimes it's not how much you can make, but how much you can save,
Mhm.
so. But no, I should have known, but I know you spend over 300,000 a year or so.
Okay,
That's all I got.
all right, thank you. That's a lot.
Well, I had to make up for Michelle.
Thank you.
I tried to keep out at 3 minutes.
Our town engineer, Tom.
Good evening, all. Projects that we've been working on, grant applications, we've been working through those. MS4, as well as the NGS culvert one. And the second round of
There's an environmental.
grant application. Victor Menden Road retaining wall, there's gonna be further discussions on that tonight. 3 mile square road sidewalk projects. I had another call with the contractor to get an update on schedule, and then we're looking at the second week of August to begin. We will be drafting a letter and sending those out to the residents along that street, just notifying them of schedule. Stony Lonesome Road, no updates on that, and then that was my.
Okay. Must be summer.
Yeah.
Megan.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Another busy month. Lots of time spent on code matters. So we did take 2 particular violations to court in June. Neither are completely resolved. One has to do with 3808 Rush Menden Road. And that one, there was an opportunity for the individual to appeal to the ZBA. So that process is underway. August 9th is when the ZBA will be hearing, the appeal on that. For the other one at 2 Parkview Manor Circle, we did appear, there was a not guilty plea. And we had put it off a month until July, just to allow for the swimming pool to actually be filled in. And my understanding is that has occurred. Corey did in fact do an inspection on that last week. at the end of last week, and I've still got to catch up with him to see where we go from here. But so the next court date on that will also be on August 9th. Also, the South Coast settlement, the school district hasn't signed off on it yet. So I've been helping the school district attorney understand kind of the reasoning for the assessor's recommendation that it settle at that particular amount. I'm sorry, with the code matters, there was a sign violation that was issued as well, and my understanding is that that has been resolved. We've been providing continuing help with the easements for the sidewalk project, and then we've also got the Victor Menden Road matter, which the gentleman spoke to earlier. We are putting together a contract that in fact will touch on a lot of the issues that were raised during public comment. And you might have noticed too, in the invoice that was included with the packet, there was actually tax that was, yep, so that'll come out. And an access agreement as well, just making sure that everyone's aware of what's going on and who's responsible for what. So,
Okay, thank you very much.
you're welcome.
So, town board. Would you like to go first, Tim?
Yes, sir. So we talked a little bit last month about the Honeyeye Falls Minden Volunteer Ambulance Service. Would like to get back to them within the next month to talk through. Kim, I know I had some questions from you. If you have any questions from the board, if you can get them over to me in the next week, that way I can make one sit down with them, go through all of the questions and concerns and come back and ask approval for, you know, kind of go through what the budgeting, what the risk profile looks like, and then evaluate the second ambulance service.
Yes.
As we heard in open comment, we've had 2 planning board meetings since the last our board meeting. One at 4287 requested a amendment to the existing special use permit to add a second barn with additional storage and then expand his retail space. He did not have all of the information for the planning board, so he will be coming back again this month for a follow-up. And then the second was 50 Buggy Whip Trail to build to add an expansion and be able to run. It's a horse farm to be able to allow people to come in and train using her land before they go to competitions. It turned into a rather contentious meeting. There was a lot of public comment at the open hearing. And one of the things that we have talked about with the planning board and Don, the attorney, is there's actually a code requirement, section 260-96 subsection B, that mandates the planning board shall establish such rules and regulations as are required by law and the provisions herein for the transaction of its business. We don't have a record of that being documented and formalized. So we would like the planning board to draft such rules and regulations, and we will need to add additional budget for the planning board attorney to review and provide his opinion on that. So if you remember, the planning board attorney is firm fixed price, so he is contracted to attend the meetings, review applications, and provide opinions of that. This is a little bit outside of that, so we need to get an additional quote, probably between 5 and 10 hours, to conduct his review, provide his opinion, and then the planning board can actually pass and make sure that we're contractually compliant with compliant with the code. And then, just so everybody is aware, our governor passed Executive Order 61, which was a mandate to reform outdated regulations and policies that waste time and money. Really exciting on the surface, always in favor of that. Not real sure, we'll have to look and see what that actually means for our town, if there are opportunities to further comply with that at the town level. I don't think that it is a mandate. I don't think it is a binding executive order. But we may have an opportunity to review our existing regulations and policies if we feel any are outdated and can be better served for the community. And then no American Legion Post meetings in July, so we'll pick it back up in August. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thanks.
She must have known that we were doing a review of our codes and policies,
We
followed our lead, clearly,
called in a special favor.
yeah. Okay, so for me, the Environmental Conservation Board met on June 9th, where they reviewed the Buggy Whip property for the E-pods, of course. They had no real concerns about the E-pods, but some more general recommendations and considerations around agricultural use of land. So they submitted their write-up. It'd be useful in the future. We continue to wonder how that input is used. They do. So just that alignment between planning board and ECB and HPC and how we can improve those types of relationships and communication. That continues to come up in the meetings. Oops, the page here. I also attended the library monthly meeting. They are thinking about their budget for next year. They did get a small grant, roughly around $10,000 or $17,000 for a story walk. It sounds like a location was selected to be around the splash park. And so it sounds like Lila, the director, has been in communication with Buildings and Grounds and with Highway Superintendent to make sure that where they want to put signage for the story walk makes sense for them. She says that you're cool with it.
Yeah, I'm in favor of it, whatever they wanted to do. I told them we would assist them. However, I
Yeah.
thought it was a great project
Eagle
for,
Scout.
for Eagle Scout project. So that's kind of the direction I center it in, along
Yeah.
with going to Kevin with Buildings and Grounds.
And you and Kevin, I'm not sure, have no concerns about mowing or anything like that around the signage. It's just.
Yeah.
Okay. But it did raise the question about Eagle Scouts and if there's any rules around how we can engage with Eagle Scouts for town projects. You know, it's small, it would just be putting some signage with some concrete, but if there's any liabilities that we have to think about.
And they could dig it out, we could pour it maybe.
Right, I don't know, they've been, there's other projects, for example, like the flag recycling bags up the community center. There's a bunch of projects that, you know, like kids have done.
Yeah.
over the years.
Sure.
You know, it's-
They do a bike thing on the Lehigh Valley Trail.
Right, yeah.
I don't
Like repair.
concerns. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really cool. I don't remember any concerns or anything from that.
Does that ever come up with any of your other towns where groups like Eagle Scouts do town projects and then maybe somebody's hurt while doing it? Does that ever become an issue?
Rarely is it an issue, but it is something that a lot of towns plan for. Any volunteers that come in to assist with any sort of project within the town, there's a general waiver that they have.
Okay.
People sign in, and typically there are minimum standards. Depends really what the project is, as far as like people under 18 shouldn't be doing certain things that might not apply in the Eagle Scout situation. So.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure, I mean, it's very small, but it did raise a question that I didn't know all the answers to, so thought I would just mention it here. But the majority of their time was spent talking about the urgent care, of course, and some of what happened at the hearing, the village hearing, ZBA hearing a couple weeks back. And they emphasized their desire for collaboration and working with the village and the developers on finding a mutually beneficial arrangement. So on that note, I did attend the village hearing and I heard probably a couple dozen, several dozen people speak on behalf of, well, not on behalf of, but on behalf of themselves about their concerns related to the urgent care going in. Many of them were around traffic patterns. So that's really the library's primary concern as well. And they're eager to collaborate, basically. And I know that there has been some negotiation that I think we'll talk about. I'm wondering if they've been involved in those conversations. And then last, for the Climate Smart Communities Task Force, they met last week. We were meeting twice a month for the last few months, but we got a whole month between the last meeting and this one. There was some good progress made by members to identify the activities within the dashboard that we probably are pretty darn close to getting points to, and it's just a matter of some finding the documentation. And I did meet with Corey Gates for a couple hours to go through that list in greater detail to really hone in on what he thinks the town has accomplished and where we where we need to pull documentation from. And also he got excited about some other ideas that were on the list that we could maybe make progress towards. In particular, the culvert project came up, and there's some very specific language in the Climate Smart Communities Task Force about using like the aquatic something standard protocol. I don't know if you've heard of this protocol, but if we use that protocol for our culvert assessments, we can get some more points. So I'll talk with you about that and what that is. Yeah. Okay. And that. Oh, and I prepared 2 policies that didn't make it on the agenda, but I think we're going to have a special meeting at some point. One on town social media and one on teleconferencing to put some guardrails up around that.
On June 22nd, I attended the Village ZBA meeting regarding the proposed urgent care center. On July 7th, I attended the Climate Smart Task Force meeting where discussions continued about mapping the best steps forward to move with application for the bronze certificate, as Rebecca mentioned. On July 8th, I attended the HPC meeting, and a member of the HPC met with Corey, the CEO, to discuss EPOD 5 overlay and the code revision from August of 2025, which the HPC is still waiting for updates and next steps on. And there was also a question regarding a proposed addition to a home within a 500-foot buffer of a historically designated home on Fountain Hill Road, and why this addition did not go before the HPC, which I hope to find clarification on procedures and the role of the HPC. It sounds like very similar to what's going on with the ECB and planning board. So we could kind of line things up so these boards know their roles would be helpful.
So, sorry, can I have a quick question?
Sure.
So whenever we look at the roles for the planning board, would it make sense to expand what we're asking from Don and say that the roles, the top level role should be?
So I think the HPC is a whole separate kind of entity, so it wouldn't be the same as the planning board.
Okay.
And then finally, I'd like to take a moment to speak as the only returning member on this board. There has been a lot of chatter about the Mendon's 250-year anniversary and why the town didn't host a formal celebration. I think it's important that we address this openly and without assigning blame. The anniversary was discussed and money was set aside to the new administration who would have the ability to plan an event. But transitions take time, and our new administration has had a tremendous amount to learn and manage. And they simply didn't have the time or capacity to organize a large celebration this year. That's not a failure, it's just the reality of stepping into a complex role. This also would have been a great opportunity for a volunteer committee to step forward and help organize something meaningful for the community. And in hindsight, I should have suggested that we at least order banners or something simple that would mark the occasion, and I will own that. What matters now is not pointing fingers at the prior administration or the new one. Every one of us cares deeply about this town. We may not agree on everything, but we share the same goal in doing what's best for Mendon. Blame doesn't move us forward, working together does. And while we didn't have a formal event, our town historian, Diane Ham, is doing something truly meaningful. She's working on a book chronicling Mendon residents who served in the American Revolution. And that project honors our history in a lasting and important way. So let's take this moment as a reminder that Mendon is strongest when we come together, support one another, and focus on what we can accomplish, not on what we can criticize. I'm committed to working collaboratively with everyone, and I know that we can continue to make this town proud.
Thank you very much for that.
On that note, Cap, and the Association of Towns, I have a couple a book that they put out. It has the town of Mendon that Diane Ham wrote. I don't know if everybody got one. But when I got here, it was on my desk. So, I did read our town of Mendon and it was.
Tom?
There's a ZBA meeting on June 11th. There was one application for a property on Clover Street. They're requesting 2 area variances, one for a side setback, and the other for lot coverage above the 2% allowed. Both variances were approved with condition that prior to the issuance of the building permit, the applicant confirms to the CEO that the side setback will be no less than 2 feet 6 inches from the property line. I also attended the public hearing for the urgent care in the village. There was numerous people spoke concerns on green space, accessibility, which we'll be discussing all that later on in the meeting. I attended our monthly highway meeting on the 23rd. We discussed purchasing 2 more speed monitoring signs, need for any budget transfers in the future, changes to the employee handbook, the 2027 budget preparation. We discussed repairs to the splash park, which have been done. Security system update with cameras for the highway department. We discussed the Graves project in regards to removal of existing material with the highway department and their traffic control. And we discussed the construction of a future storage building near the old salt mines.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll go on to supervisor's communication. I want to make sure everyone knows that HR has been a big concern here in the town. I've heard it from day one, having human resources for our town. We did make an arrangement with our payroll company. We do get a certain level of HR help from that payroll company that's included in what we pay monthly. We have an opportunity to pay an additional $100 a month to get phone support, more specific. And then there's another level above that, which is thousands of dollars. I don't think we're anywhere near needing that at this point, but it is available to us if we need it. So in the interim, I'm making an appointment of Janet Way, who is currently our bookkeeper, as having a secondary role, calling it Human Resources Liaison. Her role on top of her already established job description will be, she'll be the point of contact for HR related questions, including benefits, payroll, and leave management, FMLA, and workplace policies. She'll provide support on personnel policies, performance management, and employee relation issues. She'll be onboarding new employees and maintaining personnel records. She will not need any more compensation for this role at this time. If the needs of the town and her HR responsibility in this role increase, we can address that at that time. As Janet has learned the job here as bookkeeper, that job has become easier, freeing up time to take on more responsibilities. So that's why we're appointing her now. I believe this new position will help the town meet the growing need of HR services without added cost. It does not require a new civil service title at this time. As you know, we are receiving added HR benefits from our new payroll company. I just mentioned that. That's that. Additionally, along with this announcement, I want employees to know that if they have an HR issue and would like to speak with a representative, they can reach out to me or Michelle, or preferably Janet. Janet is also happy to meet them outside town hall to help protect their privacy, should that be desired or needed. I want every employee to be comfortable that they will be heard, that action will be taken to rectify a problem, and that their identity will be protected should they feel that is necessary. On security, Kevin from Buildings and Grounds, has been getting some bids for us. We're looking towards next year's budget as to modifying our security systems in all of the town buildings. It's a possibility. And so we've been taking a look at that. We have a new grant to announce. Denise Dexter over at Highway, she applied for and was awarded a sign grant acquiring these new ice alert signs. They're really cool. I don't have an example of one yet, but they change color when the temperature drops to a certain, they actually turn blue. So it's sort of like a fan type look that turns blue, and it just warns people that hey, it's slippery. So I think that'll be clever to have around town hall and various other places to prevent accidents. So I think that I appreciate that very much. Denise, thanks for doing that. EPOD, I think Kim, you mentioned that. And the HPC committee is looking to get that EPOD approved, but I talked it over with Corey. And there's a few things missing there that just need some updates. And I communicated some of that with Jeff Tesh. And what I'd like to do is get him together with Corey if necessary to iron that out. And that way we can finally get it done and approved for him. And then signs, you heard some stuff about signs going on in town and enforcing sign code. Corey and Brooke went out one day with the truck and picked up around 50 illegal signs. People put signs up all over the place on poles. They put them in the right of way. They're illegal signs. They're not really allowed to be there. And so they periodically, the town has to take our resources and go around and pick these things up. So they end up in the dumpster. But people are violating sign code and the right of way. So it's something that unfortunately we have to take care of. Flood issues, I'm finalizing a list of flood areas in the town of Mendon. I hope to have that done tomorrow, Tom. Call me. I'll hand that over to our engineering firm for study under the grant that we just applied for. People have been reaching out to me throughout this year. And anyone that I've discussed flooding with, whether at your door or you called, I want you to be aware that I've included your name on the list for this report. So, and if I haven't heard from you, you've got till tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock to call me. Let's see. Our senior exercise class seems to be going strong. It slowed down a little bit with summer in the month of July, but enrollment seems to be very good, averaging 12 people. We're going to talk about this a little bit later today. Health insurance, tentative meeting date to explain the new Medicare policy for recipients. Approval is set tentatively for Thursday, July 23rd at 2:30 right here in this room, in the boardroom. I will be sending some emails and making some calls out to people to make sure they're aware of the meeting and they can come and learn about the new plan and make some choices. Sales tax receipts. I just want to mention that we get quarterly letters about our sales tax receipts, and they've been down considerably the last 2 letters I've got. The end of last year was pretty strong and actually an increase, but the last 2 quarter letters I've received, the sales tax was down. So obviously business is down. I mention it because it's something we have to be thinking about going forward and making a budget. And on the 27 budget, Janet and I have started budget meetings with different departments. We've met with most of the departments. Michelle, you and I have to get together pretty quick. But we have scheduled an appointment with our accountant for this week and to get her input and get the ball rolling. And we're all very aware of the rate of inflation being 5%, at least 5%. And going to be tightening our pencils and getting creative as we move forward, assembling a responsible and transparent budget. Emergency management. Amy and I attended a second workshop on emergency planning where we worked through a mock flooding incident. It was a good exercise that enabled us to think about the process of managing a crisis when you are in it, as well as the steps needed to get reimbursed from FEMA. At some point going forward, we will be updating Mendon's emergency management policy and procedure manual. Handbooks and manuals. As you know, we've worked on the employee handbook with complete payroll. The board has a draft to preview. The cost of this work is included with what we are already paying them, so that manual cost us nothing. Rebecca and Amy have been working diligently on rewriting and updating our policy and procedures manual. We're scheduling a special work session board meeting in order to review these rewritten policies as well as the current employee handbook. There's a lot of work to do on manuals as they are all pretty much out of date. So we're trying to work diligently on that and prioritizing what we can. Phones, I met with Verizon, this was last month on a new phone system, but as you know, I had to leave the meeting abruptly, so I didn't get to mention it. But it turns out we're better off with our current phone system, so no need to invest any money in new phones here. I'm talking about office phones. Stony Lonesome Safety. We've had plenty of discussion, Tom and I, and meetings with New York State Department of Transportation on Stony Lonesome. We're basically, the town's putting the ball back in the state's court at this point, or any added improvements for safety. We have done all we can and have experienced a huge improvement in safety by clearing the brush and improving visibility. Both our highway department and New York State DOT cleared a lot of brush, and as a result, we've had no accidents since then. So I've got data. I don't know if I handed that out or not, but I do have it here. If anyone's interested, then I'd be happy to share with you. But I contacted the sheriff's department and our captain for our district here, and he got me the information, and there were no accidents since the brush was cleared. So I think that's pretty good.
Did we clear that brush or did the state on 65?
On 65, state had a contractor, he had Terry Tree. That removed
Yeah.
on the northwest side of that as you come down around the hill. That whole area on the right, they cut it back significantly.
A lot.
So, and there is still room, I believe they still have room that they can cut back even further if it's deemed necessary, so.
When did they do that? When?
Late last year.
This fall, yeah.
October.
So sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tom, is that significant? I know you were looking
Yeah,
at the
it-
traffic patterns.
It's definitely speaking.
Okay.
I mean, just the visibility, sight lines, clearing, turning movements, it's all helpful to that, so. I think it's definitely back in the DOT court to determine if they need any more improvements. They could do more clearing, I think more clearing would help, they did add additional signage.
Yep.
The additional signage has helped out, so.
Just to make sure we're talking about the same thing, but no accidents since October. That's significant.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Okay.
Very significant.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. That's good.
We were averaging 3 or 4 a year.
Okay. All right.
So sometimes more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like they'd no more than repair the guardrail.
Yeah, 52 times, I think, they had to repair the guardrail.
Yeah,
So it's-
significant amount.
Yeah.
yeah.
Can we, is there a way to advocate the state to keep it cleared back? That way it doesn't get lost.
Yeah, I think,
I can-
we're working on a letter.
Yes, it's been coming a long time, that letter, but yeah, we are. To get it out to the state, and
Yeah.
the state does have plans in 2030 for that intersection. Not sure exactly, we can speculate what the plans are, but we'll have to wait and see on that. I know they have a lot of money earmarked for that intersection, so that's public information, so I can say that. Okay. Buildings and energy, I met with Verigy last week in regard to creating a status report on the condition and infrastructure of all of our buildings. We will look at energy savings to offset any investments we may need to make in this area. 2 other towns have engaged with Verigy and are giving positive reports. The town of Gates and the town of Ogden, I believe, are under contract with Verigy. That doesn't mean we have to, we have no obligation with them, but I'm really looking forward to getting the information from them. So their engineer came by, started doing some inspection, and that will continue. Kevin and Riley at Buildings and Grounds did some fantastic work for us in the town hall basement. Cleaning and preventing mold, as well as furnace work to improve the air quality in our building. Found a lot of really awful things down there. I hate to say, but we did. And they really took care of it, and they really did a bang up job. So I'm hoping that that's gonna be, go a long way towards cleaning up the quality of air that we're all breathing in this building.
Kevin, you said did that?
Kevin and Riley.
And
Yeah.
Riley, did they use, respirators and stuff? when were
Yes,
down
they
there?
did.
Okay, good.
Yes, they did. I saw that they had, I didn't see him wearing them, but I didn't see him.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
I
they
did the
weren't
same
spraying.
thing.
I wouldn't go down there. It smelled like bleach in the whole building. So he's probably poisoned us all. I'm joking.
we know. That was a joke for the record.
Okay, so anyway, they still have, 2 humidifiers are on order for the basement. And, they are gonna replace a fan that was broken down there for some long period of time.
Do you mean
Don't know how long,
dehumidifiers?
dehumidifiers.
Okay.
And also replacing a big fan that goes in the sub basement. The scary part. So, yeah, there's a big fan that goes down there and, they're gonna replace that because it hasn't worked for a long, long time. Splash Park, the Splash Park bucket, everybody's aware, was cracked and therefore we had to take it out of commission for about a week, maybe a little bit over. The bucket had a 1-year warranty. We've had the bucket for a few years. I'm not too happy about the fact that a very expensive piece of equipment only had a 1-year warranty, but that's what it is. The replacement for this bucket was gonna cost $17,000 for a piece of fiberglass. I'll have you know. It's just nothing but fiberglass, which is very inexpensive to make. And they were gonna charge us $17,000 for a new one. Kevin did some research. I called some of my auto body contacts and we acquired some repair materials. Kevin and Riley used their talents to make a solid repair and the bucket is back operating, as everybody knows.
Awesome.
I'll save that comment for later. I want to make sure everyone knows, next month, during my report, I'm going to give a complete update on all projects we have completed, all projects we're currently working on, and have planned for the near future. So people will have a really good update on where we've been and where we're going in terms of town projects. And finally, a shout out. I'd like to, give kudos to people and for doing a great job. And, Brooke Buckland, she steps up whenever needed. And this gal, somebody doesn't show up or something happens, somebody's out sick and she steps in and it's not her job. And she stepped in and was mowing lawns last week, I think. And I'm like, wow. I've seen her planting flowers over at the community center and doing that. This is all gratis. This is just her doing it. And, she's the building department secretary, assessor's office secretary. She's the secretary for the planning board and, she steps up and does whatever is needed. She went out with Corey and picked up signs. I mean, it's amazing. So thank you very much, Brooke, for all your commitment to our town. Really appreciate it. And that is the supervisor's communication.
Joe, before we move on, I have something I just realized that I'm just want to ask about. Last month, we tabled a resolution to approve some funding for MRB for the non-point source planning grant application for the MS4 mapping. I don't see that made it onto the agenda.
It did.
It didn't, but it can be the next.
It's okay? All right, I
Thank
just
you for
wanted to
bringing
check.
it up.
Yeah, okay,
I'm sure you would have been calling me already if I.
okay, all right.
It's okay.
It's okay, all right. Just want to make sure.
You can note that. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Town Supervisor's Monthly Financial Report. I have a motion to acknowledge the receipt of the Town Supervisor's Monthly Report for May 2026.
So moved.
Okay,
I'll second.
any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Town Clerk's Monthly Report. I'll make a motion to acknowledge receipt of the Town Clerk's Monthly Report for June of 26, showing receipts and disbursements in the amount of $70,331.28.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Approval of minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held on June 8th, 2026, as presented.
A second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Budget adjustments. I'll make a motion to approve the following budget adjustment, moving $5,271.48 from account B3620.1 to B3410.1 to correct a payroll labor distribution error.
I'll second. I'll second.
Discussion.
Will you explain?
Yeah.
For
A person from our payroll company made an error with a particular employee's pay who has multiple jobs within the town. So they transposed two of the jobs, so the money for one job was coming out of the wrong account. Therefore, quickly Michelle said, hey, that counts out of money. So we looked into it and they got on top of it right away, and all this is doing, there's no cost to anything, there's no difference in anything, bottom line is the same. All we're doing is moving money from an account it came out of that it shouldn't have, putting it back. That's it. But, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Anybody? Abstracts?
Abstract. So general abstract A, I'm gonna make a motion to approve all claims on vouchers number 26-331 to 26-341 on general abstract 26-7A in the amount of $13,517.25.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. General abstract B.
I will make a motion to approve all claims on vouchers number 26-342 to 26-389. On general abstract 26-7B in the amount of $73,804.33.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Highway abstract.
I am going to make a motion to approve all claims on vouchers number 26-163 to 26-187 on highway abstract 26-7 in the amount of $37,437.28.
Second,
I'll second.
any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
And just for the record, library abstract A, library vouchers number 26-082 to 26-088 on library abstract 26-78 in the amount of $1,443.04 was presented to the board for payment. And library vouchers number 26-089 to 26-097 on library abstract 26-7B in the amount of $14,506.43 was presented to the town board.
Okay. Zoning Board of Appeals appointments. Whereas a vacancy exists on the Town of Mendon Zoning Board of Appeals, and whereas Adam Toy has expressed a willingness to serve and possesses the necessary qualifications to benefit the community. Therefore, be resolved, I make a motion to approve the Town of Mendon hereby appoints Adam Toy to the Town of Mendon Zoning Board of Appeals to serve a 5-year term effective immediately. He's filling in for someone that dropped off of the zoning board. Resigned.
I will second.
Okay.
It should be the remainder. of the
Yeah.
5-year term.
Oh, it should. Okay. So not a 5-year term.
Serve the remainder of
Okay, I
the
will
predecessors. 5-year
serve
term.
the remainder of the predecessor's term. Second,
A second.
okay, any discussion? Resumes were included and recommendation letters.
Yeah. Very strong resume.
Yeah, amazing. Lucky to have. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Congratulations, Adam.
Is Adam here tonight?
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think he said he could make it. He had a conflict.
I used to work for WSP, so I wonder.
Proposal for town email address creation. The highlighted part is really all you need to read, but if you want to read the whole thing, you're welcome to. Whoever's taking it.
Yeah, I'll move to create town email addresses for relevant board and committee members at a cost of $8.40 per user per month, resulting in a total annual cost of $1,713.60 for 17 new accounts to cover planning board, zoning board of appeals, environmental conservation board, and historic preservation commission.
Second,
A second.
discussion. I'll refer to our attorney.
I'd be happy to speak to it, certainly. So, town-owned email addresses are important for at least two reasons. The first one being, there is an obligation to preserve town records. And, you know, for how long depends on what type of record it is, but if people are using their personal email accounts, there is no guarantee that they are in fact preserving those. So certainly by having these additional email addresses, you're going to be filling that obligation. In addition, any FOIL requests that come through, it's much easier to do the collection of relevant documents from something that the town has some sort of control over. Rather than asking each member of every board to search their emails, then you're relying on those people, and it should help streamline the FOIL process as well.
Thank you. Any questions?
No, thank you for that explanation, because I was questioning whether we really needed to add that many.
I highly
Me
recommend.
me too. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Continuation of membership in Monroe County Stormwater Coalition Resolution.
I make a motion to approve continuation of the town's membership in the Monroe County Stormwater Coalition. IMA, I don't know what that stands for.
Intermunicipal.
Oh, intermunicipal, and authorize and accept the intermunicipal agreement that details the nature of that collaboration and continuation, and includes an annual membership fee of $6,273.30 for the annual membership fee.
To be paid from B80.
Oh, excuse me, to be paid from account B8032.4.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? This is required. We don't have a choice in the matter. So we just have to cough up the money and pay. All in favor, say aye.
One more discussion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is there enough funding in B 0823.4?
As far as I know, there is, yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
I looked earlier.
Because isn't that where we took the grant funding from last month?
Fund balance sheets that you had were updated.
Yeah, when I looked, and I don't have them.
I thought we took the grant for $6,000 from there.
Oh, we didn't pay that yet, so it wouldn't be on.
B8023. Man, that is. Okay. Well, this is required and it needs to come out in
Then we need to vote
what
for
we approved last
contingency.
month. Are you sure it was that same account?
We can look in a note.
I got it in the minute.
What the?
We could move up into the account. Move it from 1.4.
That's not, oh, well, we can move the other one. Oh, yeah, there's plenty there. Yeah. Special items contingent. Yeah, we can do that. B 1990.4. So I'll move to amend this resolution. You pay,
Well,
what?
sorry.
Go ahead.
Get rid of- So
Yeah,
I
you
would, well, I would make a motion to move 6,273.30 from B 1990.4 to B B8023.4. And then we can pass it as is. So
Okay,
can we make that motion? now?
yes, please.
So I move to transfer $6,273.30 from Fund B1990.4 special items contingent to B8023.4 planning projects contractual.
I'll second.
Yeah, I'll second. How much, can I just verify
Yeah,
that,
it's like $6,000 in it.
you wanna see? There's 96, it's a contingent, special items contingent.
All in favor of making that transfer? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's so moved.
Did you get that, Michelle?
Okay, and now we have, we did approve
We haven't voted on,
We did not.
no, we
Okay,
haven't voted
so
yet.
all in favor of continuation of membership of Monroe County Stormwater Coalition, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Good catch, Tanner.
Okay, the big one. Retaining wall
I
project.
didn't vote on the
Yeah, we voted on the,
stormwater coalition. You voted to move the money.
we did that and then we just voted on the coalition.
Oh, so who was the first and second for the motion? to
So,
move?
so I moved, Joe
And
seconded,
Joseph. Okay, I get that.
and then everybody was aye.
And then we circled back around and just voted on the
Okay.
original.
Okay, retaining wall project. Want to go for that or should that be me? It's you. Okay, it's all me. Make a motion, that the town board hereby authorizes and directs the town supervisor to execute an agreement with J. Crew Landscaping to perform the retaining wall removal and soil installation project at 13 Victor Menden Road for a total amount not to exceed $35,500 to be paid from B 8021.4, subject to review and approval by the town attorney. Second,
I'll second.
okay, discussion. Here we go.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there an agreement? I think somebody brought it up in public comment about. So this is the retaining wall and this is to take it out and then push the soil around. Is there something that releases the town from any future liability should there be?
Yes,
That will be part of the contract that I will prepare
we discussed
if
this.
the board wants to go ahead with this.
I also discussed it with the property owner. He's on board with that.
We've also discussed it with New York State DOT. They like the proposed change. We've also are ready to issue a permit. JC Crew is actually signing the permit, ready for authorization. Town needs to do the final signature on that. Their liability insurances.
So this is also an interesting point because this seems like something that would come before the Environmental Conservation Board to look at, EPOD districts and things like that and how it might affect, and it hasn't.
I'm not sure if it would or wouldn't. It is within the right of way, so it's a municipal project.
It's in the state right away.
The wall, yeah, the wall is, but the grading that's gonna take place
Yeah, well,
extends out beyond that, doesn't it?
I'll explain that right now. if you
Okay,
like.
yeah.
But, okay, so, there's a lot of controversy over this. Is the town working in someone's personal property? Yes, we are, but we're working in the right of way. We're extending that out in order to rectify a situation that was gonna be very, very expensive to rebuild that wall. We discussed an option with the owner of the property to remove the wall completely, fill it in with dirt. We're gonna save probably $30,000 to $35,000 doing it this way, and you're gonna rid the town of all liability going forward. The fact that the town built the wall in the right of way means we own it. So, the state doesn't want anything to do with that. They're saying, hey, you built that wall, that's your baby. So, we're removing the wall, filling it with dirt, packing it in. You can't just dump dirt in there, we have to grade it out. So that's what we're doing. We are also saving the sidewalk there, which if anyone goes there, you'll see the sidewalk is tipping in as the wall continues to collapse. And every day we wait, it's just a little bit further over, I think. But maybe month by month, you can actually see, you can almost see it moving. But the side. uh, So there are a couple of really good reasons to do this. Get rid of any liability that the town has to owning this wall. And we preserve the sidewalk and we made an exchange to not rebuild the wall by adding some soil and packing it down and grading it in a way that is acceptable to the owner, salvages his bushes. Otherwise, we would have had to go in there and just knock all his bushes down that have been growing for years. And he loves. No, we're not trying to necessarily do him a favor, we're just trying to negotiate something that's acceptable to both parties. And get rid of this liability once and for all for us.
But could we add just a sentence that's like contingent upon an agreement being
Yeah.
reached that like,
Yeah, it does say subject to review and approval of the town attorney, is that?
Where does it say that?
More to us.
The last sentence.
yeah. Does that cover it? What's subject to review and approval? This is an agreement with J. Crew Landscaping, not an agreement with the homeowner.
When will this work be done?
As soon as we approve it, it'll get on a docket to be done, because everything's in place for it,
Okay,
so.
yeah, I think, and you can maybe just add to this contingent upon an access agreement with the property owner.
Yeah. And is that something that the board would typically, like, are we gonna have to wait till next month for us to review that agreement, or how would that work?
No, as long as they're
Okay.
subject to the town attorney's approval.
Okay.
You'll be just fine.
Okay. Okay, great.
And in terms of multiple estimates, we had an estimate a year ago, the work was gonna be done, it was never done. That same contractor bid this job for twice as much money as what the one we're hiring. There was a third contractor who dropped out. So we did attempt to get 3 bids on it. That's where we're at, and the price, and I checked out the contractor that we are looking to award this to. He's got a great reputation. He does work for the town of Rush. They're very happy with him. His reviews are really good, so feeling very confident that we're in a good spot. And saving half the money. All in favor, say aye.
Sorry, one more question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What budget line does this come? Oh, you've got the budget.
Yeah,
line
the
here.
budget
Okay,
line's
so-
there, yeah. Anybody else? Questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? So moved.
Good job, Joe.
No more lifesavers, I guess. Legal expense.
Whereas the town board agreed to cap the monthly budget for legal fees to $4,583 a month. And whereas the monthly bill for May is in the amount of $12,822.59, I make a motion to increase the monthly amount of our legal expenses by $8,239.59 for May of 2026, for a total amount of $12,822.59.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, discussion. You all have a copy of legal expense town comparison here. I just wanted to prepare that for everybody. I put it out to the Monroe County Association of Supervisors and got back 5 replies, and I shared that information with you. We have had unusual circumstances for our town, I believe. I mean, I don't have the history, you two do, so maybe you could comment about how unusual the circumstances have been, or if they're normal, because I'm not really sure. But
They're normal. These issues appear all the time.
okay, I wasn't sure of that. I mean, we don't have lawsuits, you know.
But we've had numerous lawsuits.
Oh, we have, okay. I guess we don't necessarily hear about it. Okay,
Some have gone on for a couple of years.
okay. All right, well, there's that point, and so the motion is to, do I have a second, or do we have any more discussion on this point? No? Okay, all in favor? Say aye.
I,
Any opposed? So moved. Okay, we're into the discussion phase of our meeting and, first, order of business is urgent care. We have our, the architect for the village, Nate Rossi, is here in case anyone has questions, or if you would like to make any comment during our discussion, if people here have questions. Glad you came, thank you. Tom Fromberger and I met with the village and the whole entourage and committee of people from U of R and planners and architect, and there's quite a few people in the room. As you all know, there was a lot of controversy over the urgent care, the footprint, and many other concerns. I'm happy to say, and I think of a lot of details right now, very happy to say that the village and everyone involved, the U of R in particular, has really stepped up and really come a long, long way to make the people of our town and village happy. We've gotten back some fairly large amount of green space. We've saved trees. We are making the entryway safer. We are moving the building forward. We're shrinking the parking lot. There are a lot of amenities here that I guess the statement I want to make is the U of R Thompson heard the people and they came back on their own volition to make a lot of these changes. So we really welcome those changes. There are some details to work out, of course. And actually, I'll give you a call tomorrow. We'll get that ball rolling that you and I talked about earlier. And as you know, the town has to sign off on parts of this, the driveway access point. So there will be more information coming out. I don't want to upstage the village and give away something I shouldn't be giving up, but I want to tell you that I'm very happy with what I saw and heard. And I think the people in general will be very happy about the changes that they've made. I also want to mention that, you know, when someone owns property, as long as they follow all the zoning regulations and rules, we can't stop them from developing. So I think the concessions they made in light of that fact are enormous. So I did meet with the library people. They're aware and very happy. So we have to still talk about the details. I need to share with the board all of everything in writing as soon as we have it all. And there are some documents that I have I need to forward to you tomorrow for all of you to review. Of course, we'll have to vote on it and approve it. The board will have to approve it, but trying to move it along. So any questions?
Yeah, I'm curious. That's great. You know, that's great. Who did you talk with at the library? Just out of curiosity.
Lila and Tom,
Okay, and they were,
elated. So, yeah.
good news.
Yeah, it's really good news.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see where we at. Any other questions about urgent care? Hey, I think we're on to,
Oh, one question. There's another hearing. When's that scheduled for? I know, is it
It's the regularly planned village CBA meeting, I believe it's the 3rd of August.
3rd of August? And what happens at that meeting?
you want,
Is that okay? That I
I
ask
was
them that?
gonna
or-
say, they will hear from any other people that want to speak. They will close the public hearing, and I believe they'll vote. And there may be some variances and things that they have to work out, but that's up to that board to do.
All right.
August 3rd.
I guess just if I can, that there is a little bit of urgency in getting commitment from the town on all of the things that
That information will go out to everyone here tomorrow. Okay? And,
Have the 8 parking spaces been
oh,
identified?
thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, did that?
Thank you. Thank you. I meant to mention this. In exchange for shrinking the parking lot, the library is going to mark off 8 spaces at the back of the parking lot and allow employees from the urgent care to park there.
Okay.
And that's the
Kind of in the
trade-off.
back corner opposite where the charger is.
Yeah, opposite, way in the back.
Okay.
And the trade-off, we get 3,800 square feet of green space and lawn and save trees. So,
I think it's over 6,000 square feet, yes.
what was that?
I think it's over 6,000 square feet.
Really?
Hold on 1 second.
And they were, Joe, they were okay with that too? Like that was discussed
Well,
with,
They're related,
okay.
they're related.
Really appreciate everybody from the town, from the village. I know you've put in a lot of time into it, Mr. Supervisor, so really appreciate all the time everybody's put into it, to come up with a workable solution.
These two
We're getting
guys
there.
really,
Getting there.
they're my heroes right here on this project. They really pull it together and, I just delivered them over.
Over 6,000 square feet. Sure.
Really? Great. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, Mendon Green lighting and speed
Yeah.
limit signage discussion. This should be fast. I don't know a lot about the lighting. Mendon Green, is asking to have some streetlights put up. They want some speed limit signage put up in that neighborhood. I think we could probably accommodate speed limit signage pretty easily, I think. According to an email I got from you. On the lighting, my concern is that our electric bill is through the roof, and I'm all for making the neighborhood safer, but we need to discuss some things about that. So I don't know when we'll discuss that. If you have questions or concerns, or you can educate me and everyone else, I'd appreciate it.
Isn't like, I'm not familiar with this, but wouldn't that have been discussed when this development was being planned?
Right.
Yes.
So they're asking for it after the fact. I don't think that they probably should get lighting.
That would have been a
Yeah.
requirement to plan.
Yeah. So I don't
Street lighting,
feel like it's
sidewalks.
passed.
Right. Developers really should have.
Yeah,
The only thing
Yeah.
may be possible, if, I don't know how Pete is with DOT, maybe a light out at the end of the street in the right of way, state right of way.
I think,
I know they complained about finding the road.
yeah,
It sounds like the residents are asking for it.
yes.
So there, you could establish a lighting district just for that development. So the ones who would pay for it would be just that district that's created.
Oh, so the people that live on that street would pay for it?
Yeah.
Informed district.
Which is typical, like,
Oh,
I don't think they're asking for streetlights down the whole
no,
I
I
think
lane.
more
It's
at the
just
end.
at the, it's
At
just
the
at the
end.
end.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell if they were asking for a speed limit on Mendon, on the Mendon Green Lane or just a 55 mile per hour.
Mendon Green.
That is, okay, I didn't,
You know, then it becomes an enforcement issue.
I didn't see that in the email.
Very few subdivisions that really have posted speed limits.
Right.
There are 2 or 3, but it's kind of rare, and to that point, as Tom said, enforcement is, you're gonna get the sheriff's department. It's gonna park.
Don't look out there on my neighbors. Way to do that.
Unless somebody, you know, somebody's got some clout with the sheriff's department, but, you know, that's not a normal patrol area or whatever, but.
well, not
Under the
for,
cul-de-sac.
the sheriff's department doesn't really do it. If you request, they will enforce
Right.
speed. But as soon as they're gone, the speed picks back up.
Right.
And they all know this. So our approach has been, let's put speed reminder signs wherever we can. We're gonna try and buy a couple more. We've got 2 going now. I got Monroe County Sheriff putting one on Route 65 near the park for this summer. That should be done soon.
Yeah.
So that's no cost to us. And they're just gonna do that there. And then you got it going on Plains and Sibley,
Right.
which is sort
And
of
we'll
through over there.
close out.
did you have conversations with them?
School starts.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think Corey did.
So, and we're looking possibly to budget for 2 more of those. And those, what remind people, hey, slow down. You know, and I think those are effective.
Yeah.
It worked for me. I don't want to put it
Yeah.
down. Worked for me. So I think they're effective.
Yeah,
Trying to get police writing tickets is not effective in the long. Okay,
right.
anybody have any questions on the lighting and speed limit? I got a message that we could talk to DOT about putting a light at the end. or possibly, having it billed to the neighborhood. We'll look into that. HR options, Zywave hotline. I did talk a little bit about this already. I'm not sure if anyone has any other questions on this. It's $100 a month for the Zywave hotline. That would allow us to call, speak with an HR person, specialist, anytime we want for $100 a month. We don't have that right now. We don't have a resolution for it tonight. There's no emergency situation at this point in time. But it's something we should consider, maybe if,
I just have a question. It sounds like that sounds like one-off issues. Is there, would you get like somebody that's assigned to an ongoing problem
yes.
somehow? Like, how
Yes,
does that work?
I asked that, and they at first hemmed and hawed a little bit about that, because if we're gonna, if you don't wanna be calling and getting a different person who's gotta go read the file and then get back to you. The only way I would do it is if they agree that we would have the same representative for that issue that we called about, right straight through. So they did say you could call and ask for that specific person, but it's set up as a hotline. Set up, whoever answers, goes and reads the file. But I would insist that and instruct our people that you would call and ask for the same person. So
to go back to during your communications, and you had mentioned that the HR liaison. I mean, what I brought up before was people being uncomfortable bringing concerns to an elected official.
right,
But also now I have a concern, and it's not against the person because I think they're great. It's just, is there a conflict of interest because their spouse works at the highway department?
No.
So would employees not feel comfortable reaching out to the new liaison?
you'll always have that. I think you always have somebody that knows somebody that,
Think about it.
they could go to Michelle, they could come to me. If they work for highway and it's a highway issue, they're not gonna go to Pete necessarily, but they might start there if they're comfortable. It's just, we gotta have something.
Right, that's what I feel like
Do-
the hotline is.
Do it
like-
always.
Yeah.
Reach out to
Yeah.
us directly.
So it-
Honestly, I'm not sure if that's available to all employees, the hotline.
Okay.
It might be, I didn't verify that. That's just something I'll ask about.
I think given Kim's experience with, issues and the conflict of interests that she experienced, like we should really take her comment seriously there.
Oh, I do.
About a concern related to a conflict of interest.
Right.
As great as Janet is,
It can't go to a person.
Right.
That's married to someone in the
Right,
highway
right,
department.
like I said, nothing against
Yeah,
them individually.
if there was a complaint or an issue, it would have to go to somebody else.
Correct.
And that's why I stated Michelle, myself.
Okay.
Pete.
Not for apples to apples, but there's also associations like EAP and stuff like that, employees are, I think, well aware of as a resource.
Good.
Still.
But as we learned in the last situation,
Yeah.
you call them and they say, oh, talk to your attorney.
Right.
But you never seem to have an attorney. So that's.
does our handbook, and I haven't gone through, does our handbook have like procedures and policies for how to handle HR complaints? Cause we might wanna have that.
Yeah.
We had a
Especially,
great HR attorney that was working. We
Right.
hired her last year. She was per diem. She would only be, if we called her, but we didn't.
somehow it didn't
You
make
did
its way.
say you point
Yeah.
out.
And she was perfect.
You have HR department?
Do you remember?
We do. So we have some options.
Okay, but that lady only charged like
If I only went to there.
pennies.
It's okay, I got it, my
Yeah,
really
no,
good,
that's a good
book
point,
too,
yeah.
but
Yeah, and she would only get paid if we called. Or
Yes.
something.
I think it's
Yeah,
worth,
that's another option.
I think it's worth asking if Zywave is available for the employees to
Yes.
report as a secondary
Yeah.
line of reporting.
So when you call these hotlines, they're gonna call Zywave, then they're gonna call Janet and say, oh, you're the HR person, so we just got this complaint. That's what happens. We had it with ADP also. And you call and then they would call me and tell me. And I'd be like, well, oh,
So-
okay.
Where's the project?
Contact your attorney for
Right.
more help.
Yeah, well,
And that's exactly how it goes. So
Oh,
So, yeah, it kind of didn't help.
it's just a big circle of nothing.
yeah, by the way, no, but I did point out in that sheet I gave all of you, it says specifically what the Xywave provides services for. It's in your packet.
Megan, do you have any opinions on this issue?
Honestly, the more human resources help you can get, I support it. It's a very tricky area.
Yeah,
And it is one of the easiest ways to expose the town to liability as well, through no one's fault. It's just that it's complicated. So any sort of help you get, I encourage.
Joe, can we also just maybe run some numbers to see if we could afford, bringing back on the person? I don't know her name,
Karen.
Karen,
The law firm?
yeah,
HR person that
So
was.
she was just, she used to work for the town of Buffalo or something. She was their HR attorney for years. She retired. So she knew what she was doing. It was really nice.
It was
There's
just
no-
per diem.
There's no budget line for an HR professional in our budget system. What was the intent? How would she be budgeted?
Well, there
Maybe
was
part of the council,
a
maybe.
person
There's-
hired
Right.
at one point, but that didn't work out. So, so there was money. I'd have to go back and look. and
Correct.
see.
She's an attorney, yes.
she wasn't in the organizational meeting. She must have gotten added at some point, last year.
Yeah, we appointed her mid-year.
Yeah.
Because
Mid-year,
on the
okay.
recommendation of our attorney that we hired to solve some of our cases, we hired her.
And I think we only paid her like twice, a couple $100. for
It's like
the entire
$125 an hour
Yeah, it was
when she's needed,
very.
and otherwise you didn't pay
And
her.
you
She's
trust
very
her,
tired.
so she's good,
Yeah.
you don't
She
have.
came highly recommended
She
from
would
other
drive here from
municipalities.
Buffalo if you needed, just to talk to you. She was, she always offered. Or by phone or by Zoom. She didn't care.
It sounds like less money than $100 a month, depending on, I could see an added benefit if employees can call that number.
Yes.
Yes.
And
yes,
if they have a
Self-available,
protocol to
yep.
protect their identity, or some methodology worked out, it might be okay.
I'd feel more comfortable with that personally, but I'm not living the day to day, with what it's like. And what types of issues are coming up, but just like my instinct is that go with the known quantity. And listen, you had the ADP experience, that didn't work out well, and this kind of feels a bit like that.
Yeah.
And we may never need her, but.
May never
there's
need
that
her.
Time when you do need her,
Right.
that's really important to have.
Thank you for that. And, senior stretch, the issue here is, the instructors asked whether or not they could open it up because the class isn't 100% full. I wonder if they could open up to the public, to the general public, not at the resident. Residents don't pay for the senior stretch class. They're saying we could charge people. The problem with that I see is if the class wants to be filled up with residents, we don't want to choke them out of it. But at the same time, if we're not filling all the seats, and we should have a cap on it too, not just unlimited, but if we're not filling all the seats and some people want to come in and pay a nominal fee, why not bring some money in with it? But I would want to wait a while to see how things go. Does it pick back up in the fall? Maybe put some more reminders that we're offering the class, see what happens and try to, get it more filled up with residents. That's my thought
So
about it.
the fees go to the town or to the instructors?
Well, I would think they come to the town. So that's the way I think of it.
I don't know that you can do that. I don't know that you can fund a program with a
Oh.
grant and profit off of it.
Well, next year is kind
Yeah.
of where
Okay.
with no more grant next year.
Yeah.
The town will have to decide if we want to keep moving forward with this program and put in the bill.
So these people that want to attend the stretch, they're not residents?
Oh, no, they are, the ones that are coming are residents.
No, but to open it up to.
If we
non-
open it up, they would be non-residents.
Yeah, I don't think I'm comfortable with that. And then the question is, like, we're paying for it right now. under the grant money. But do instructors want more people so they get paid more? Is that what they're
They,
looking
they
for?
haven't asked for more money up to this
Okay.
point, so I'm not sure what they're
And
getting.
are we
I
paying
think-
per person that's showing up, or is it just a one shot?
Yeah, it's one price, that's it, no matter how many seats we fill.
How many seats are filled?
Well, we're getting, averaging 12 and, as much as 16 have been there. Right now, last couple months were 8, but, it's, mid-July, so,
Oh, that's pretty sure.
um,
It is.
so.
I view it as a benefit for our town seniors. I personally rather leave it as a benefit for our town seniors.
Sounds good to me too. Just they brought it up, so I wanted to share it with you guys, that's all. Okay, and Summer Road Arc Ice Skating Rink. I'm not too sure what that's all about really, as someone presented, there's some materials in there. We've been down this road before, as you all know. I know that I read some things on it, comments that the maintenance was extremely high, the usage was very low. Someone requested that, loved it when we had it.
And I think the big thing is the tarp they had on the basketball had disintegrated, so they had to buy a new tarp for the rink. And, years ago, we weren't getting a whole lot of cold weather. Last year would have been perfect. Then you get.
What is this winter gonna be?
Just a ball. But it is a lot of maintenance for the highways. Keep the snow off of it. As soon as they get snow off, it warms up. And then somebody's on it, they break through it, then they have to reflood it again. If you could guarantee 25 every day, it'd be perfect.
I'll make a call.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for that discussion. And that concludes all the business for the town. There's public comments. Yes, Gary.
I have a question, based on all your discussions and everything through me. Who supersedes, planning board or the environmental conservation? It seems like.
The planning
what
board.
You're saying with the
Yeah.
governor is saying, let's reduce our costs. Now you're getting repetitive. They're all reviewing the E-pods, both of them, they're doing all these different things. It seems like you're getting more expensive than less expensive. You're adding more boards that people have to go to. And maybe it's time to go back to the old way the planning board does what they do. And you do away with the environmental board, or at least them sticking their nose into what our existing boards are doing.
Thank you for the comment.
Oh, I just have a question. The speed signs that you're buying, the speed limit sign, or the speed monitoring signs that you're buying,
We're thinking of buying, yes.
do they record speeds?
Yep.
So you can provide the sheriff's office
Yes,
with the
they
information.
collect data here. Okay,
Any other public comment? Any other public comment?
yeah, anyone else, public comment? Okay. I'd like to move to adjourn the meeting.
I will second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
So moved.
Thank you.
It's not a record.
It's getting better.